Namaskar and welcome to another episode of What Does This Data Say? I am Ajay Prakash. The focus is now on Karnataka all around. As the elections in the state draw close, the political scene is all heating up. Every minute the scene is changing, the things are changing, and if you look back right now, in the last 1 week or so, it is clear that the BJP has gone on the back foot and its advantage Congress. Today's episode is going to be part 2 of my last episode, which I had uploaded on the YouTube channels. Now, if you may recollect, in that episode, I had analyzed the parliamentary election data of 2019 from the state of Uttar Pradesh. Before I proceed ahead, the usual request. If you like the kind of work we are doing, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like this episode, do share it among your friends. I had divided the state of Uttar Pradesh into different categories of cities: tier 1, tier 2, metros, and others. The others form the bulk of the cities, which are the smaller cities and the rural areas. I had then shown that the wind margin in the smaller cities and the rural areas was only 13.5%, which was quite a narrow margin, and the turnout in the villages and the smaller town was the highest, which was close to 60%. The BJP had won 62 out of the 80 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and 54 of them came from the smaller towns and the rural areas. Now, since the margin in this area was so small, I had concluded that if the situation remained the same in the coming 2024 elections, the BJP has its task cut out. It's not going to be easy this time around for the BJP to win as many seats. However, the caveat still remains: 2024 is a long way off, and between now and then, anything can happen. Whatever projections I am giving today is based on today's political situation. In my previous episode, I had also said that I will do a similar analysis for Karnataka and probably one more state. So today's episode, I have taken the Karnataka data, did a similar exercise, and I have also taken Rajasthan as one more case study. In 2019, the BJP win in Rajasthan and Karnataka was far stronger than that of Uttar Pradesh. In UP, the BJP had won only 62 out of 80 seats, whereas in Karnataka and Rajasthan, it had scored a maximum. The classification of cities in Karnataka I have done based on the number of electors in that parliamentary constituency. So for the metro, we have only one city, which is Bangalore, but it has 4 parliamentary constituencies. And then we have the tier 1 cities, where the number of electors range between 17 lakhs 50,000 to 20 lakhs. So in this category, there are 9 cities: Belgaum, Bijapur, Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, Bellary, Chitradurga, Mysore, and Chikaballapur. And the last category of the remaining 15 cities are those cities where the number of electors are less than 17 lakhs 50,000. So here is the voting pattern of the 2019 Lok Sabha election in Karnataka. There are total of 28 parliamentary seats in Karnataka. 25 were won by the Bharatiya Janata Party, one by the Congress, and one by the JDS, and one other who was an independent. Now, first let us look at the turnout. The turnout again follows the same pattern as in Uttar Pradesh. The least turnout was in the Bangalore city area, 56.9%. Then came the tier 1 cities at 66.4%, and the highest voter turnout, close to 75%, was in the smaller towns and the rural areas. 15 out of the 28 seats are in the small towns and the rural areas, out of which 13 went to the BJP. The BJP had a clean sweep in the tier 1 cities and also in the metro, barring one seat. Now let's look at the average win margin in these categories. Tier 1 had an average win margin of 13.3, In the others category, it was 14.5, metro at 14%. The state average was 13.8%. So there's not much of a difference in the win margins all across the state. However, the win margin in itself is pretty low. This only means that in 2019, the BJP had a close fight in almost all the constituencies all across Karnataka. Here is the analysis of the Bharatiya Janata Party, how they had won the seats with how much margin. Now, above 25%, out of the 25 seats that it had won, it had got only 6 seats. Between 5 and 20% margin, the party had got 15 seats, and in the extremely low margin category, that is up to 5%, it had won 4 seats. So next time around, if things don't go in the favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party, it will have almost 19 to 20 seats out of the 25 it had won in the risky category. Now I'll also quickly show you the data for Rajasthan. So here is my classification for the cities of Rajasthan. Though Jaipur is not a metro, but I have put it as a metro because it's a state capital. In the tier 1 cities, I have taken Bikaner, Jodhpur, Kota and Udaipur, these 4 cities. And the remaining 19 cities, I have clubbed all of them as the smaller cities and in the rural areas. I was not able to follow the classification based on the electors in these parliamentary constituencies because there is hardly any difference in the number of electors. But as you will see after the analysis, it's quite immaterial how the cities are classified. There are 25 parliamentary constituencies in Rajasthan. In the last 2019 election, the BJP had won 24 out of the 25 and one seat went to RLP, which was also an ally of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So in effect, it was a clean sweep. The voter turnout was very strong in Rajasthan, around 67% all across the state. The average win margin in the state was 25.84%, which is a very high figure. The trend here reverses from the other states. In the case of Rajasthan, the metro or the Jaipur city had the highest win margin of over 30%. And then it was followed by the smaller cities and the rural areas at 17.24%, and the minimum win margin was in the tier 1 cities at around 16%. And the strength of the win of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the state of Rajasthan is shown very clearly in this graph. There were no low margin, extremely low margin wins at all. There was not even a single seat which was won by less than 5%. And between 5 and 20%, there were only 5 seats. The remaining 20 seats were won by a margin of 25% or higher, and in the win margin above 25%, there were 14 out of 25 seats. So in the end, I'll just show you the summary of all the 3 states together so that you get a very clear picture. So in the 2019 parliamentary elections, in Uttar Pradesh, there were 80 seats, BJP won 62, 10 went to the BSP and 5 to the Samajwadi Party. In Karnataka, there are 28 seats, 25 went to the BJP. Rajasthan, 25 seats, 24 went to the BJP. In terms of the average win margin, Rajasthan remains extremely strong for the BJP, followed by Karnataka at 14%, and then the least average win margin was in Uttar Pradesh. And here are the graphs of the performance of the Bharatiya Janata Party in all 3 states. I put all the 3 graphs in one slide so that you can compare. Rajasthan, you see that all these peaks are towards the right, which means the seats had been won with a very high margin. In Karnataka, the win for the BJP was moderate. You do find some seats in the lowest of margin category. And in Uttar Pradesh, that is a state which remains vulnerable. There were far too many seats in the extremely low margin category and also in the low margin category. Having said that, these are only the numbers. The actual situation is governed by the politics. And in Karnataka, should the Congress win the assembly election, then these numbers can change very drastically. And so is the case in Rajasthan. If Mr. Ashok Gehlot is able to win the second time around in succession, then several things in that state could also change. So that's all in today's episode. Do write your feedback in the comments. I'll see you again next week with some more data. Till then, namaskar and goodbye.